Americans owed a total of $1 trillion in 2019 alone. So needless to say, a popular resolution is to save money. Here with some tips to help you do that is Tamara B. Rodriguez, Chief Financial Officer. And I'm assuming that one of the tips is stop shopping.
That's always a good tip.
Look, I'm pointing the finger to myself, okay?
But this time of year, I think some of us tend to behave a little bit more because we just overspent probably on the holidays. And so now we're like, okay, we're going to behave. We're going to be good.
Yeah.
Is that a realistic expectation?
Well, the first thing is to have a goal. Like, what is your goal? What are you trying to accomplish? How much money are you trying to save? So first you have to set a goal. Then you have to figure out what your net worth is, right? Which is the difference between how much money is coming in versus how much is coming out. And during that process, that exercise, you can actually see what your spending patterns are. Okay. And then you can think about reducing some expenses, right? So things like, maybe you're spending too much on Uber Eats. Maybe you have some reoccurring charges that you want to take out.
Subscriptions and memberships that kind of like creep up.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, it's only $40 a month, but that $40 a month
adds up.
Quickly adds up. Or the coffee every morning.
Right, and maybe you don't need it, right?
So I guess we need to get creative, don't we?
Yes. Well, then you need to come up with your budget. Once you understand what your pattern is, your spending pattern is, come up with the budget, right? How much are you really going to save? How much can you save? Once you have that, then your goal, you have a realistic goal going.
Right. And I see that you put there for the fourth tip is to actually stay focused.
Right.
And what happens is that we start really, really good.
Right.
And then right around, I want to say February.
Right.
It's true.
It all starts just kind of getting a little blurry.
Yeah, and there's different ways of staying focused, right? One of the things you can do is to partner up with somebody that wants to save with you, right? And so there's a couple of challenges that I'm offering too. Like you can have like a challenge where you say, you know what, I'm going to save an X amount of money over the year. Can you work with me? You partner up with a coworker or a friend, a family member, and together you come up with savings ideas and you work towards accomplishing them together.
Tamara, what do you think? Like old school, put the money in a coffee jar saving, or do we actually take part of our paycheck under the mattress, or redirect part of our paycheck into a savings account?
So the traditional and easiest way to do it is to redirect an amount to a savings account or to a 401k. So that's pretty much what a lot of people do, and that's great. But then you come into some people that are not as disciplined.
Okay, but how much should we put in our 401k? Which I know it's a completely different thing, which you have to come back on to talk to us about that, but how much is the right amount?
Well, once you have your budget, you'll know, because you don't want to put away an amount that is going to be so difficult that you end up trying to take it out again, right? So you have to do an amount that makes sense for your lifestyle. So it all depends.
I like the suggestion, don't follow like click to buy subscription pages. Just get those off your phone, right?
That's so easy to scroll through your social media or scroll through the internet and you're like, oh, I could use that shirt. And they make it so easy to just click, and then before you know it,
while all three of us are in the car line waiting to pick up our children, and you're doing this,
and you're like, it's only $14.
I need that shirt and I need those shoes. Okay, well, we should all inspire one another.
That's it.
You've got great ideas.
Yeah, I have a great idea. Also, one thing that I think is awesome is this thing that I call a shoebox challenge, right? Where who doesn't like shoes? What woman doesn't like shoes, right?
No one yet.
You take a shoebox and you partner up with somebody and you say, okay, each week you'll put an amount in the shoebox, and at the end of the year we get together, we exchange shoeboxes, and we should both have the same amount in the shoebox.
Let's do it.
Heck no, I'm not playing with you. I'll save, you'll spend. Thank you so much.
She's right about that. Thank you, Tamara. Head on over to our website for more information, NBC6.com/6 in the Mix. Those were great tips.